Did Damian Lillard overreact here?
Well, shots fired on that one. But listen, it's two things, though. It's two things here. One, on his statement about not playing, the issue with the statement, not that it's not true, is that it's really, at the end of the year, if you don't make the playoffs, ownership, general managers make the decision not to play players in that situation down the stretch. Whether they want to avoid injury or they want to have, young talent be able to have a chance to play the rest of the season, figure out who they have. But management makes that decision. Dame's part was he spoke what they've been saying in the NBA. They do it in football for years, but he spoke it, so now he got the backlash from it. So, but he did go on to explain that if it's a playoff scenario, his team gets a chance, he will play, of course. But when he went back at Dan, again, you got to understand, Dame is a grown man. So now you coming at him sideways, and he called him spoiled and entitled, a brat, that hurt Dame. And Dame came back at him strong. When you're an analyst in our job, when you put yourself out there like that, these are the repercussions that come from. Now, was he right or wrong? Dame, in his way, he said he was right. To me, I would have handled it a lot differently, but I get where Dame is coming from. You come at me like that, here's why I'm coming at you. You ain't been in my situation. You don't understand what I've been through in my past and why I've gotten here, and you don't even understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. So, shots fired back, my man Dame Dollar. I just put him in his next rap song. I'm waiting for that one.
Man, you ain't lying there. Damian Lillard did not overreact. You got to remember the golden rule of doing this, Dan Orlowski. You know what it is. You got to talk about the act and not the actor. And calling him spoiled and entitled, to me, was more of a shot at who he is and his character. And that's why I don't think Dame was in the wrong in responding like he did. And let's be real, he didn't overreact because he didn't spell out MF. He would have wrote every letter of it. Now, like, damn, Dame, hot as hell. It's going to be on. With that said, there's really a spider web of issues going on right here, and I'm going to give you just two of them. One is Damian Lillard's hypocrisy. Whatever you want to call it. I called it Hollywood, and Dame know I love him, but, hey, I got to call it like I see it. Your rookie year, y'all lost y'all last 13 games, and you played in all of them, including the last 6 when they were meaningless because you guys were out the playoffs. Don't forget that was a team that went out there and missed the playoffs. Only time it's happened for Dame. So Dan has a point. But then the real issue why everybody got juiced up on this is because they don't think Dan is qualified. They're trying to check his certification because of his career on the playing field. And now they're saying you are not the person that can speak truth to power, which is Damian Lillard and his ability to play basketball. That's where I have an issue. Y'all can't be calling out people just based on their career if the truth is the truth. I would have lost half of my coaches if it was based on what their qualifications were in football. So I don't look at it that way. I always say if you are speaking your mind and it's backed by facts and solid evidence, I don't give a damn where it comes ringing from. I'm going to respect it and accept it. So that was my issue with that.
Yeah, Marcellus, I think you make some great points. The thing I would say to Damian Lillard and why I think it's a bit of an overreaction is because I think most people ignored the comments. Orlowski's a former NFL backup quarterback talking about the NBA. Most people don't care. This wasn't Stephen A. Smith coming at him. This isn't Adrian Wojnarowski coming at him. This is a former NFL quarterback coming at him, and the reaction's a bit over the top, and you've really brought some attention to Dan. Dan has issued 2 apologies because he can't handle the backlash of Twitter, and I'm sure some of the feedback has been racialized. The only thing I would say to Dame Lillard, and I say this to all of us, and I think this is something Damian will understand perhaps as he gets older, because it took me a long time to understand it. Anytime you're of significant wealth, and Dame Lillard's due about another $250 million, I think, over the next 6 years, and even us on this show, being athletes, I was a tremendous high school athlete. There was a tremendous high school athlete while living in my father's one-bedroom, 400-square-foot apartment in the hood. So despite being poor, I was a tremendous high school athlete that lived a privileged life in high school because of my athleticism. I was spoiled and entitled. Even to this day, living the life that I live now, I have to fight being spoiled, being entitled. And so I just wouldn't reject these criticisms just because, hey, where I'm from or my background or I do X, Y, and Z. We're all capable of being spoiled and entitled. We're all capable of a lot of negative characteristics, bias, bigotry, blah, blah, blah. I just wouldn't reject that out of hand. And so I get why he was upset, because it does feel like someone that he has no access to, someone he's never going to see in a locker room, have a conversation with, has questioned his character publicly. I would have let it roll off my shoulders if I'm Dame Lillard, wouldn't have given it the attention. A bark dog, a hit dog is the one that barks. But the other thing I would just reiterate to Dame and everybody, we're all capable. The life that we live, sitting on TV, talking about sports and getting paid for it from our homes, that will create a level of entitlement and being spoiled. So it doesn't matter where you're from, it's where you're at. And if you're not self-aware, you may overlook some things that, and again, the behavior here in terms of I'm not going to play in meaningless games, why some people might call that spoiled and entitled, like you're part of a union and your league is in a crisis, a lot of other players are in crisis, your television partners are in crisis. Are you willing to do things that benefit everybody that may not be in your best interest? That might be what's driving people to say, hey, man, is that spoiled and entitled behavior? That's my thoughts on it.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.